This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, representing not only the Rosewood Foundation, but the personal testimonies and history of cherished friends and family. You are now watching the Queen Lizzie podcast. Today, we're talking with attorney Yolanda Means. Good morning, attorney.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I am honored to have you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me on the show.
Okay, and
You have a birthday party coming up, right?
yes, I have. How do you remember?
Because you tell me things and I remember.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, talking about birthday party, I don't have the date, but it is for the people, for you all to come out and help me celebrate my 86th birthday here at Steve Spurrier. Where is it? Up in the Visor. Is that the Visor?
Visor's is upstairs, yes ma'am.
Upstairs.
Rooftop.
So, rooftop. There you are.
Yeah, Visor's rooftop bar, yeah.
Okay, Visor Rooftop Bar. Okay, come ready to have fun. Food delicious. And Yolanda is going to be here. And Zach, I hope. Okay, but anyway, it's a fundraiser. And speaking of fundraiser, we are in the process of building a Rosewood Museum, the Mahalda Gussie Brown Carrier Museum in Archer, and we are finishing. As of June 30th was the deadline, all of the plans and the permits from the county, everything. We are now ready to start building, and we are going to need some money. So this birthday party is going to give us a jump start to start raising money so that we can build this museum. Plus, we're writing grants. And plus, we are expecting sponsorships. But anyway, we are ready to make Rosewood rebuild, what is it called? Resurrect. We are ready to resurrect the town of Rosewood with a church, hopefully, and shotgun houses. And we just want to make it fun. In Archer, on 29 acres, where my aunt, the Rosewood school teacher, was born, and my mom and their entire family of 12 were reared right there on that property. So we're bringing it home. And the community is invited. It's not about me. It's not my museum. It's for the next generation, our young children out there, our young historians. This is yours. We are giving it over to you. So start thinking about what part you would like to play and what history or whatever you want to be a part of. And as Yolanda reminded me about my birthday party, I'm going to remind her or suggest to her that you tell us something about yourself. We know that you are an attorney, and how long and where?
Okay.
License?
Yes, ma'am.
The whole 9 yards.
Yes, ma'am. So I am currently licensed in the state of Florida as well as Georgia. Anticipating getting licensed in Texas. I'm not sure why, because I don't plan on going anywhere, but for some strange reason, I feel there's opportunity in Texas, so I just kind of want to lay the groundwork to start my foundation there. I will be here. I don't plan on going anywhere, so don't worry about that. And I will plan on being at your birthday party, so
Wonderful.
Don't worry about that as well. It's always a good time with Freddie and the rest of the gang on the rooftop, so that'll be a great time. But about myself, I started out in Georgia. I was practicing there, but I wanted to come back because I felt like the job was already started. And I felt like I was trying to place myself in a society or around a group of people, but everybody was already established, and I didn't feel there was much work for me to do because we were in Atlanta. So you got everybody in the state of Georgia who would migrate to Atlanta and start their roots. I just didn't think that I wanted to start my roots there. I felt like I was already planted, rooted here. And since I've come back, I've just grown. I've watered the seeds that, not only that I plant for myself, but like my ancestors planted for me. So all I had to come back and do was water it, and it was essentially done for me. And now I'm just growing from the ground, and I have that solid foundation. So I really do believe that that works. And so for me, I came back to make the difference that I knew that I could make. And I knew there was room for me to grow here and room for me to get myself situated. So obviously, Georgia was fun. It just wasn't a spot for me. People move there and think that Atlanta's going to change their lives, but I'm guilty. I thought there would be the land of opportunity, but it's there. It just wasn't for me. So I'm back. I've been at Meldon Law now for 3 years, about 3 years, and I'm loving it. I'm just soaring right now. So, and I'm appreciative to be here because I really do look up to you. And I'm not just saying that. Before I tell you a lie, I would tell you nothing.
Right. Well,
I really do.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me here.
And where are your ancestors from?
You cheated me. She's asking me questions she knows the answers to. I'm just
but
kidding.
They don't know.
I know. We're related, by the way. We're related, so obviously she has the cheat code and knowing how where I'm from. But my family is from Archer. You know how long my family's been there. My family's been there since the 1800s.
Yes.
You can tell me if it's been longer than that, but I know that my family's been there since the 1800s, before my great-great-great-grandfather migrated from Georgia, where he was freed as a slave at about 8 or 9 years old, and he migrated here to Archer, Alachua County, Archer, where my family has remained since. So.
And his name?
Major Reddick.
And Major Reddick is all over Levy County court records. Okay, I know he was a minister, and I look up to him too. I don't know him, but I feel like he's my ancestor too. But I knew his daughter, which is your great grandmother or your grandmother.
So Major is my great grandmother. Major is her great grandfather.
Okay, Miss Roberta.
Right.
Okay, and let me tell
Could
you
be
about
grandfather.
her.
I could be wrong, but I believe her great grandfather.
Sounds right to me.
Okay. All right.
But she and my mother were good friends, about the same age, and they were the smartest women ever walked the face of the earth in Archer. And in 1984, I did a tribute to Archer black families, and which included 76 black families. I went to every 76 house with Arabelle Henderson Strange went with me. Clark, she married a Clark eventually. But we went to every door, we knocked on every door. We hand recorded. We didn't have any recorders. We dictated everything they said to us, children named, and Miss your grandmother was so smart. She gave me every name of all of her 8 children or 10, each of their kids, and the birthday, each of their kids. That was a smart young lady. And 1 or 2 names I misspelled because I didn't know how. And she was talking so fast. But she is not any longer here. But she left a legacy. She is a genius.
You say 1984. You
It
said that
was.
was 1984?
Yes.
So my great grandmother would have been 84 years old because she was born January 29th, 1900. I do want to stand corrected because I feel like Major Reddick was her grandfather. So in case my family's listening, I know my Aunt Barbara and my Auntie Tony would hurt me for that. But I believe he was her great grandfather. But she was born in 1900, so that means that your mom was born somewhere.
1902.
Well, 1902, they were around the same age. But she was sharp, you know.
Oh, she was sharp.
Pro Second Amendment, I'm
Yes,
told.
yes, she was sharp. And so was my mother. And because of my mother, that is why I am talking to you all today about Rosewood.
Right.
Mrs. Burke knew, and you all know why I can call her Mrs. Burt. You can, but she knew about Rosewood too. She was a genius. They were just two. My mom had an eighth grade education, and I don't think Miss Burt was much higher.
Probably somewhere in the same.
Okay, yeah, but they were God bless, God sent. Oh, strong women, providers. They made sure everybody connected. I just love those, and I did that with 76 families. I have a copy of the book. I'm going to put in my library. But history is something that we will never, never, never forget, and I appreciate it, and I know Meldon Law appreciate you and the work that you do. And by the way, he is my attorney. Did y'all hear? Meldon Law is my attorney. Before I knew you were working for him, but see, that tells you that good minds. Okay,
You already had that established before I got there, because when I got there, when I won't even say an interview, we met. He mentioned you. So the very first time we met, he mentioned her. So y'all already had that relationship established, but now I'm her attorney too, so she can
Yes.
add too. You can have all of us.
yes. I claim you, and good bunch, good bunch of people. I just love y'all, and I respect you, and I know y'all feel the same way about me. And until we all feel the same way about respecting each other, hey, we are going to change the world. Just us. We can do it. Change the world. If not, our democracy is going to be destroyed. And it is a time now for us to come together, work together, respect differences.
Right. Respect differences. And we'll go a long way, a long ways if we did that.
Yes.
Respect differences.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like we're getting more, we're moving more towards there, but
Yes.
probably not as fast as we'd like. But respect differences. We're entitled to that.
Right. And I don't know if I should. Yes, I should. Ward Scott, when I say respect differences, I was honored, and I do mean honored, to speak at his memorial service this past weekend. Because Ward Scott, when he was a hippie in the late 80s, late 70s or early 80s, this young man called me and said to me, Mrs. Jenkins, I was Robinson at the time. I said, yes, hello. I said, hello. He said, I would like for you to come to my class at Santa Fe Community College and speak to my class about my English tech class about Rosewood. And here I am. Who is this man calling me, asking me to speak to his class about Rosewood? My mom. Me and my mom were not talking about Rosewood openly then.
Right.
And he wanted to bring me out to talk about it. And I said, hung up the phone and said, Mom, do you think I should go? My mother was always, yes, you should go. I said, but go. And I went. And today I'm glad I did, because there was something in his spirit that I have not been able to figure out, that he knew or felt that he would be able to help me maneuver through the hate and disrespect here in Electric. He did it. We remained friends. I would go on his podcast and speak, and we talked about Rosewood positively. We never attacked or anyone, because the people, Mom would always say, those people didn't create Rosewood, and you better not attack them. And I never did. I have always respected them. And it was different this weekend, but it was something to remember. I almost cried, and the most important thing I did, I presented his wife, Barbara Scott, with a proclamation, and I think she shedded a few tears. But it was really nice, and it was different, and that's what it's going to take.
I really enjoyed your ceremony that we had a few months ago.
Yes.
I guess we paid homage to Ward Scott there too.
Yes.
That's what made me think about it. But that was a very great event, and you also had a lot of descendants from both sides of
Yes.
Rosewood, which was beautiful, because I don't think I'd ever seen anything like it. So we had people to travel from out of state,
Yes, New York.
from all over,
Yes.
to be present, and also, we did have the niece.
Yes.
She came up and she spoke, and that was very beautiful. We had someone to write a song about Rosewood.
Yeah.
Rosewood and she performed. That was beautiful. That was a great song. Did you get a copy of it?
Yes, I have a copy, and she has
Okay.
she has a group, and they have done like 13 songs.
Album.
And I have a copy of it. I'm not going to put it on our Facebook, or I'm going to put it in our museum.
Okay.
And we'll decide, you're on my board, we'll decide later what we're going to do
Right.
with it. Yeah.
That was a great event.
It was, and you were y'all
MC.
don't know, but she was the MC. She did a fabulous job. Oh my God, she was really, really, really good. It was from within.
Right.
Right.
Some stuff you just can't practice. You just got to go out and do it. You asked me to do it, and I didn't know what I was
Exactly.
going to do, but I said I'll do it.
You did it.
And we'll make it happen. So you just got to go forward. But that was a great event.
It was. And speaking, you just said the magic word too. Some things you don't practice. Not coming up, already on my website is a play. And Ward Scott is in the play playing the part of Sheriff P.G. Ramsey, the Alachua County Sheriff back in 1923 when Rosewood happened. We did this play. We did not practice. It is so funny and it's so unprepared, just so imperfect, but Rosewood was not perfect. You all got to see it. Go to my website, click on Mahalda Gussie Brown Carrier Play, and click where it says Learn. It's a play. I mean, it's a messed up play. For the scenery, we took the tablecloths off the tables because we did this show before or after or during a banquet. This play, 30 minutes, and we took tablecloths and we made our background, our screen backdrop. It was different. You got to see it, but the most important thing about that play, it told a story, and everybody is going to be able to understand the story. But however, we are working on a professional play,
Good.
and I want you in it.
I'll try my best to do whatever it is that you need me to do.
Okay, will do. Okay, it's about time for our first half. We are going to head to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, two things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History.
I am Florida
and
and
America's Black History, and you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Welcome back to Queen Lizzie Podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with attorney Yolanda Means. The Queen Lizzie Podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Special thanks to Greg Bradley, Allstate. Okay, we are back, and when we left, we were talking about, what were we talking about?
Well, I know we were talking a little bit about Rosewood and Ward Scott, but I wanted to shift a little bit because I want to visit Rosewood, but I believe you may be having special visitors visiting Rosewood sometime in the near future. Is that right?
Yes, we're working on getting the Gator basketball team, the girls basketball team, to Rosewood. They are trying to find a time, okay, to come out, and I shared this with Freddie. I share everything with Freddie Weeby, and Freddie Weeby thinks it's a good idea. I'm thinking it was his idea to invite them out, and I shared it with the coach. What's her name?
Kelly Ray Finley.
Kelly Ray Finley. Thank you very much. And she was excited, but she said, I just got to find some time. And I told her what Freddie said and asked her if she needed a bus. She said, yes. I said, well, Freddie will take care of the bus to get the girls out there because she wants them to be involved with humanity, with things that really happen or things they don't know about. Because when I interviewed her on my show a couple of 3 weeks ago, we talked about Rosewood. These kids don't know anything about Rosewood, so she invited me to a basketball practice. And I went out, did the basketball sit out, and then she invited me up to talk about Rosewood and share the history they don't know anything about. They have never lived, don't even imagine.
Well, when you think about it like this. A lot of her team, and this is funny when I think about it, makes me feel older. A lot of her team, they're probably born around the year of 2000, 2001,
Yes,
2002.
Exactly.
So if they don't know, they haven't lived it.
Exactly.
I was asking one of the girls, I think she's probably 18 or 19 when I was around them, and I gave a code to a gate, and I said pound. She said hashtag. And I was just like, oh my gosh, we're in such
difference.
Right. And we're only like maybe a little 10, 15 years apart.
I know.
And she said she called it a hashtag. And when I said pound, I was like, we're not in London. I'm not talking about money. Like, she said hashtag. Anyway, that just shows you the different era that we're in. And they don't know, so I wouldn't expect them to know. But they have a first game coming up. I believe it's November 4th.
Yes.
Right,
yes,
first game.
Yes.
I plan on being in attendance. You were hanging out with Shaq's daughter.
Yes.
And the rest of the team.
Yes. Yeah, that's amazing.
You get around.
I do, and I enjoy every minute. But it's amazing how I was able to get that picture one-on-one with her.
Right.
Because when we took the group picture, if you notice the group picture, she's not in the group picture.
Right.
And she came out of the room. She had gone to a room, and she came out and she said, "Oh, I want a picture with you." So that was perfect. Yes, we didn't plan it. It happened.
Yeah, they're asking for your autograph. They're asking for your autograph.
Exactly. And I never said anything about who she was on mine because they don't need to know this. If they don't recognize her, then I don't want to put her name.
Right.
Put her name out there. But that was so amazing how things happen. And as you were saying, our Sarah, Jackie Moore, is one of the assistant coaches. She is awesome also.
She is.
Yes, she is. And they get along. They come, oh my God. And that's what make for a better team. They work together, and I watched that practice so different. And I told her, I said, well, I played basketball. And when I was in high school, but it was half court, and I was a forward, and I had the kids laughing. I said, oh, yeah, I averaged 30 points a game, and they laughed. I had to get their attention, and I said, I taught Michael Jordan. I know how to do the Michael Jordan hook, and I showed off, but I got their attention. They listen, and they are interested in coming to the farm.
Right. I'll be in attendance if you want me to be there.
Of course.
I mean, I've never been to Rosewood. I've been through Rosewood, but I don't think I've been unless you take me.
Okay, you can join the bus. You all can't ride on the bus, so don't call me and say, can I go? No. You have my permission to ride on the bus.
Thank you so much. I could always meet you there, too.
Okay.
But thank you for inviting me. But I know you have the play. I know that, is there a new Rosewood song? Or are we referring to an older song? Is there a newer Rosewood song?
No, the one that I wrote, I think I sang it at the event.
Okay.
Okay, that you emceed.
Yes.
That is it. I have put it on video.
Okay.
And I'm selling it, and the cost is a one-time $3.99. And if we sell enough, we can build that museum.
Okay. I'll buy a few of those songs.
Okay, or share it with somebody else, or encourage other people, and that's what we are doing, to buy the song.
But you know, that museum is actually a fantastic idea, and I'm glad that somebody's taking the initiative to do it, because there's a thought of mine. Okay. We'll have people who are living right now, and we're discussing history, we're teaching history, but I will say that sometimes it'll die off and people will stop talking about it. But with a museum, you leave it behind. Exactly. And so, as you know, my family, we own our private cemetery out there in Archer.
Exactly.
And for me, you know, I have family members who would probably say they want to be cremated. There's cremation. Obviously, that's their own decision. We respect differences.
Exactly.
I'm not team cremation because I feel like that would be me leaving myself behind with a headstone, with a tombstone, so that when people do come through the cemetery and these grave sites, graveyards, they are able to say, well, who is that person?
Exactly.
If I'm cremated, I feel like I just vanished, which is
Vanish.
fine.
Right.
But the museum would allow us to leave, well, you to
Exactly.
leave your mark for it to say what you want to be told, and what you want shared, because 100 years later, the museum will be there. I probably won't be here, and we'll be able to walk behind and say, oh, look at Miss Lizzie Jenkins. She
Yes.
did this, or she's the
Yes.
founder, and they'll know about Rosewood, and we won't have to take every girls basketball team to the actual town.
Right. We'll come to Archer.
Right.
And I'm looking forward. And we will have other artifacts there. Like if your family want to share something, hey, we'll put it there, leave it there, and put your name there, okay? So that people will know, oh, the Means donated this, okay?
Right. We donated a lot of things.
Exactly.
over the
And
years.
it's not going to be like, right, the only black family, you all, in Archer that owns their private cemetery, and Major Reddick, Reverend Major Reddick, established the first church cemetery for the county, for the Archer area. Okay, because of him, we have the BMCRO, okay, cemetery where in 2003, what did I do? I went out to that cemetery and 7 total black cemeteries, and I extracted. And extracted is not the word. I documented each and every stone there. And I put it on the website. It's still on the website. Lizzie, it was Liz then, Liz Jenkins. I did that. And if you hear anybody else say, I did that, they didn't do it. I did it. Okay, Lizzie Robinson Jenkins. And I'm proud to claim my history, because history is who we are, and you don't sit back and allow people to go into your book, a book, wherein I did a poem of my father and take my poem and put it in another book. That's my book. Okay, my grandfather. If I sound like I am fretting today, I am, because history is who you are. You don't go around stealing people's history, okay? Bootleggers out there. Okay, I said that, and it wasn't a nice thing to say, but I enjoyed it. I said it.
You gotta stand on it.
I'm going to stand on it. I sure am, because it's an insult. But anyway, we are going to, what else would you like to say about the BMCRO cemetery? Because that's your dad, your great-great-grandfather.
Right. I believe it's
Property.
open. Is it open from 8? I believe it's open from 8 to 5, and we're able to go there. It's a national historic site now. I have not been since we've designated it and we had the ceremony. I've passed through.
Yeah.
Because on Father's Day I did go to our private cemetery because my grandfather is out there along with
Yes.
other family members. We've had that cemetery for a very long time. I love the private one. I believe it's sacred. I know that I will be buried there. And my history will be preserved. I'm actually doing a lot of things now to preserve history, because you know what? People are leaving sooner and sooner and sooner, and I'm the only person who can tell my story.
Exactly. That is so true. And I love your private cemetery too, and it's amazing that it is gated, locked. Can't anybody go there and vandalize it at night. It's historical.
I can't even get in there from time to time. I have to get the key
Exactly.
from, there's a chain I got to go through to get the key. So it's very
Exactly.
much so secured. So I'll be
Yes.
fine after death.
Yes. And it's like a quarters area. You all own all of that property back up
Right.
there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh. It's awesome, y'all.
So my great grandmother, who you talked about earlier, she received a lot of land, and then she split it up between all of her children, and then thankfully we've been able to preserve that over the years. And so my grandfather has, I think we have personally about 7 or 8 acres, and then we have an entire avenue. It actually used to say, when I was growing up, Roberta Johnson Avenue, and each parcel or each home is like my family member. So when I go
Exactly.
through, I stop and I say, hey, cousin Sharon, hey, cousin Pat, hey, cousin. I just stop by and I go down the entire street and I just speak to everybody. It's a one-stop shop. So whenever one person is having something, everybody will mingle and gravitate towards that parcel. But, you know, we have our own strip, and then we lead until we start ditching off and we're giving some to the Nat Tills. We all tend to kind of act like the same family, because once you've grown up beside everybody your whole life, you pretty much are related after a certain amount of time. Not legally, I mean, not blood-wise, but you know what I mean. You're connected.
Exactly, and that's why our parents said, don't sell your property. They're not making any more.
Oh.
And so you can sit here and proudly say, oh, we saved our property. Yeah, and with the museum, I have a friend who has, she lives in Archer. They have told me anything I want from her house, it belongs to Rosewood. And she has a sewing machine that was made back in the 17th century. She has given me that machine. We're just waiting for the museum so that we can relocate it and bring it forward.
You know, my Aunt Emma turned 89, I believe, in April. And I spent a lot of time. I did go on that particular day, and I spent time with her because there were a lot of things I wanted to know that I've never been able to ask. And it was just such a beauty, and because she's not the last one. Uncle Gilbert is still here, but
Yes.
right. But she's the oldest. I think she's the matriarch of the family. And Lord, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain about it. And she taught me a lot of different things. And so as it pertains to Rosewood, she didn't mention this, but growing up, I knew that my great grandma Roberta, I knew that she was essentially, I think she was at church waiting on her pastor to arrive, she and a few other church members, and he was actually killed in Rosewood while they were waiting.
Oh.
He never made it.
Really?
So that's some information that I learned.
I never heard that.
Yeah, her pastor was killed in Rosewood, and you know there were people at the church waiting for him to get there, and they didn't know he had been murdered. So I
Emma
guess I'll say
knows this.
assassinated. She may remember that or
okay.
another thing. I think another family member told me that much.
Okay,
But
okay.
she may. I mean, I don't know. She knew
Okay.
a lot when I was asking her,
Oh, yes,
but
she does.
some stuff she didn't. I had never heard her speak about, but then when I asked, she told me.
She's quiet like that.
When
Because I
she told
couldn't
me.
find my book that I printed, and I said, Emma, may I borrow your book?
She said no. She said no.
As well as I know her, and I begged. I said, I can't find my book. I want to make a copy. And I knew she had a copy. I said, may I borrow your book? And
She's probably afraid she may never get it back.
that's
But
exactly. I told her, I said, I'll take you with me.
she
still
hey,
did not.
you can
But
try.
It was funny. It
You can
was
try.
funny. I wasn't upset with her. But I eventually found my book. I guess she said you should have looked harder anyway. But
She taught me
she
a lot.
knows a lot. She is a genius. And that's what I like about this oral history. Boy,
yeah.
you can't out.
I talked to her for about 5 hours, and guess what? At the end, I was like, I should have recorded.
Oh,
Can you believe I didn't record? I couldn't believe, but I was so captivated. Sometimes we can get
Yes.
so caught up in these
Yes,
devices,
yes,
these gadgets,
yes, yes.
to where you don't capture what's actually happening. But I know we don't have much time. We can talk about Rosewood all day,
all
every day.
all day long. But I do want to say this in closing. Please go to rosewoodflorida.com. That's FLORIDA, and leave us a donation. As I said, we are going to build a Rosewood Museum, okay? And we can put all of our conversation and our knowledge and photos there. We'll leave it there, okay? I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily and invite them to join in peace building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the Rosewood history. That will wrap up today's episode. I am Queen Lizzie. Until next time, this is my Rosewood story, and I'm sticking to it. Goodbye.